Well, thank you so much for your time. We're here at the beautiful new St Regis in Hong Kong that is a perfect hotel for business and leisure travelers with an incredible interior design.
Yeah, thank you. Andre Fu is our interior designer. He was the one who designed the Upper House and the Fullerton Bay Hotel in Singapore. He's a very young, dynamic, up-and-coming designer. And so when he took a look at this project, he thought about old St Regis, New York, and wanted to pay homage there because there are areas within that hotel that are very similar to this hotel. So when you walk through the hotel, you'll see an interesting east meets west component. So he wanted to pay homage to New York, but really create this approachable, contemporary look within this hotel. And as you enter into the porte cochere, you sort of leave the hustle and bustle of Hong Kong behind, and you come into this area that is 7.5 meter high ceiling heights. And then when the door opens, you're sort of invited into this sort of curated mansion.
And if you look at that, it's one of the most talked about new hotels, not just in Hong Kong, but in Asia. And I think there's a lot of excitement about this property because of a design standpoint. But the quality of food and beverage that you've put into the hotel too is exceptional.
Yeah, we have two restaurants, a French restaurant and a Chinese restaurant. Both we hope will become Michelin starred after the first year of operation. And it's not because I would like it, it's because of the chefs that we've hired. So in the French, Olivier Elzer is our chef there, and he has 18 Michelin stars to his name. So the hope is that we garner 2 stars with him. But the Chinese restaurant as well, Chef Hung has 4 stars to his name. So our hope is that he also gets a Michelin star. And I think both restaurants, I mean the look and feel of those restaurants are very different, but very approachable. So when you look at the French restaurant, Andre Fu's inspiration was Coco Chanel. So there's this very feminine feel within that restaurant with an open kitchen. And then when you go down to the Chinese, the first thing that you see is sort of like this tea pavilion within the restaurant itself. So 2 very interesting designs.
And soon, and right now actually happening, is one of the most photographed bars in Hong Kong, sitting here at the St Regis bar, isn't it?
Well, you know, bars for us are very iconic, and it goes back to the King Cole Bar in New York. And our hope is that our bar becomes as iconic as that one is. But again, when we looked at the concept, we wanted there to be this east meets west sort of dynamic. And so, you know, there's a lot of elements from the old King Cole Bar and this one as well.
Obviously great cocktails at the bar. One of the most important things here in Hong Kong is food and beverage is so good, especially in hotels, but some of the great best all-time cocktails are in your bar as well.
Oh, exactly. Our mixologist, Andrea, he's actually from Italy. So we found what we think is the best mixologist, and I think if you've ever had a Negroni, his is probably the best in the world.
That's very important from a customer standpoint, I think. And when you look at the style of it, I mean, the style of what you've done in the lobby as well with these huge high ceilings, and it's very welcoming wanting to go into the bar and have a drink.
Yeah, I mean, it's for a 129 room hotel, you don't think that this whole hotel would be as grand. But again, as it starts, when you come into the porte cochere on the 7.5 meter ceiling, you get up to the lobby level, and again, there's 7.5 meter ceilings, and this just grand look as you look down towards the drawing room and off to the St Regis bar.
And if you look at the size of the hotel, 129 rooms, I mean, you're in a beautiful tall skyscraper here in Hong Kong. The views are fantastic, and it really is the size of a boutique hotel.
It really is, and that allows us to do things very differently. So when we look at the butler service, in most hotels, you check in through the front desk. You go up to your room, the bellman brings you your luggage, and a few minutes later you get a knock on the door and a butler introduces him or herself. In this hotel, we're going to do things a little differently because your butler is going to actually meet you curbside. So as you get out of your car, out of your limousine, or out of the taxi, the butler will be there, greet you, and then take you through the journey of the hotel, pointing out the various outlets, the details of the hotel, and then take you up to your room and 100% check you in room. And during that time, they'll get to know you. They'll get to know whether you want full butler service, whether you want the packing, the unpacking, the coffee, the tea service, whether you just want partial butler service, maybe you need to get into one of the hottest restaurants in the city, or you just want to be left alone. And if you want to be left alone, we're going to do that. But if you want butler service, you're dialing an extension that just doesn't have a few butlers. You're dialing an extension that has the entire front of house at your service.
And that's very special in St Regis hotels, very well known around the world for the quality of the butler service. So it's good that if people want the full butler service or just part of it, you're kind of offering that to them the second they walk in.
Yeah, and I think the word butler is a little intimidating. So we're trying to take away that intimidation. And so our thought is when you're conversing with the guest in that journey through the hotel, you make them feel at ease. And so it's less intimidating, and people would therefore more want to use the butler service.
You're the new kid on the block, so to speak, in Hong Kong. There's some pretty spectacular hotels in this city from a 5-star and luxury standpoint. What are some of your X factors here in the hotel?
Well, I think it's service. I mean, we're small enough that we can really curate experiences for our guests. You know, we have 320 employees for 129 rooms, so that's more than 2 per room. So we can do things in this hotel that I don't think other hotels really can. You know, there are other great hotels that are opening up as well. I think, you know, when you look at our hotel, it truly is a hotel that exudes understated luxury.
It's pretty fitting for number 7,000 in the Marriott Global Network to have a hotel that is such an incredible focus on great service, and it kind of embodies the spirit of the company.
Well, we were very proud when we were picked as the 7,000th hotel in our company. And so, you know, we want to try and do everything to live up to that honor.